members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's update, or not update, but in this evening's live, we'll go over the fact that XRP is up 4.93%. It's running beautifully accordingly, like we've thought the last few days, how XRP had put in a sneaky bull flag. I tried to alert everybody to the move coming, and then how to tell exactly when it was going step by step, and it's actually broken out very nicely in regards to what we were looking for a breach up. We've broken out of what I have set up here was a little sneaky bull flag. Technical target would play up to about 54.07 cents. That doesn't mean that's the end of the rally, however. That just means it's the technical target out of this formation that was created. So I'm very optimistic that we'll at least get up to that 54.07. And as we know, even if bearish, this is what I would call, it was about a 10% relief rally in totality. And now we're pretty much at the back quarter of this rally. And like I said, we've got about, let's see how much this measures out to. Got about another 2.6% left here until we get up to that area. But anybody who actually took out a trade there and took that long out at this breakout point, it actually worked out very well for you. Now, we did have a fake out initially, but then when it held, so everybody knows the deal. So that technical target, it looks like it's going to be hit pretty easily. And then the other thing I want to look at is we know this cup and handle. This is still the exact area. So when I asked in the title, is XRP ready for a breakout to $1.20? There's a simple reason for that. Because we've built this cup and handle formation, and if we didn't breach it, and in the weekly sense now we're back over, and what I've been trying to say all week when we had the drop downs here for the last couple weeks, as long as the weekly candles close above, as of right now, 504, it's only a wick that fell below. The body would be within the cup and handle now. It would be within the handle support. So basically, the candle wick, so the wick tells the lie, the body tells the story. So on the wick, that's where all the volatility happens. That's where most people get finessed out, or they find a great bargain to get in. See, a lot of people only want to talk about the liquidation, the fact that it's bad to have wicks. What about the ones who added to positions? What about the ones who got in for the first time, and because of this weekly wick, they were able to get in around 43 cents? Like, just look at it from that perspective and just the weekly alone. So somebody was out there who had the wherewithal to do that. Others understood what was happening. Like I've been saying, until this weekly, or until this handle formation gives way in the weekly, it's not, I'm not being fooled here yet. Like, this handle support is there for a reason. And yes, we've been in a very big rising channel for some time here. And I think we can all acknowledge that. I know it was someone to bring it into a wedge after, but if we just acknowledge the totality of what's going on here, aside from a big break up, generally we would see a pattern. This would reset because it would have to come down. Even if it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, it would reset to the bottom of this at about 32 cents. But it's built, what we can clearly see is a cup and now a handle. And if it breaches out of here, that's not going to be the traditional breakdown. And it's going to build into a much larger pattern, actually. This actually leads into a much larger formation, and the technical target off here is $1.20. And as we get through the analysis together, we'll also read an article, ironically, that talks about this exact area. XRP ready to break out. Analysts predict surge over 120. So I like that because they're talking about that area. That's the technical move out of a break up out of this cup and handle, and they're very bullish. These are not bearish formations. These are typically bullish consolidations here on the handle. And the fact that it creates this cup over time, this took over 2 years to do this. But these are generally very bullish setups. Now, if it breaks down, you see very, very, very volatile corrections. And as we know, we're in a multi-year rising channel. And to encapsulate what's going on, or to not encapsulate, but to encompass best for everybody, whether you're older or newer trader, that channel is perfectly placed right now. And we're back on the right side of town right now. So very well what could happen, even if we stay bullish, is we could get this breakout like we're doing, hit this 5.4 area a little bit above, let's say 54 to 54.4, And then it could come down here and ride in here and then bounce out if it's bullish as well. So you could have the boom, consolidation back out, or it would just come through. And then if you come back below this rising channel resistance support line again, then we know we could have a technical target all the way down to 35 cents right now in current terms. Because we're projecting, we've come up on this uptrending resistance. So it's going to continue to change every day. And then we have the short target of 43.24 on a breakdown. That now is invalidated. You don't have to worry about that short target. Invalidated. You've gone up too far. That structure is invalidated to the top side now. Now you could still break through to the downside, and you'd have much bigger repercussions here, because then you could start to build out a bear flag. But we're not going to go into that just yet. We're going to see if this plays out to 54.20 or 54. What is this? 54.07. Because we're looking pretty nice, at least today. So I'm glad everybody who was doing their due diligence watching. You've been out in front of this with me. So I'm glad that we were able to see this before it actually happened. And there were some profits to be had here by some. So, you know, it makes me happy to see that. I like seeing when it goes up. And then, as you've seen in the title as well, I don't want to... So with XDC in the last couple days, everybody keeps asking me, are you going to buy into anything? Well, I did. I bought a rather large amount into XDC in the recent 24 hours here on this reversal part of the pattern. So it's about 387, 388 area, somewhere in there. It's within the last 12 hours, but I've been wanting to reposition. I had sold out when it got up, and now it's come way down, a pretty big drop. But it's on the backside of this descending formation, and I don't know if it's going to get all the way down there. With what's happening in the market, I see a retest here first. So I wanted to buy on this so that I could have it within this retest area, but I think that this is, it's going to be interesting, because it looks like it's going to have the same type of move that we see XRP. It was just behind here a little bit. It has come up a few percent now. I've noticed since I was at my grandpa's house and whatnot. But I have a lot of hope in XDC, and I think it's very undervalued when it comes to a lot of other cryptocurrencies, especially for what it offers. And I think it's undervalued. I think it's undervalued. And if this has started to come to some kind of bottoming formation, we have a bullish cross here now all of a sudden in the 3 hourly, which is good. That's a good sign. But to put it blatantly, I bought 130,000 tokens of XDC. So we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say exactly the exact number, but it was somewhere within where I was talking about. But it looks like it's gonna have the same type of setup as XRP did. It's getting ready for a move. It was severely beaten down. I seen this yesterday come all the way up here to 4-1. When it came down here to try to hold this new, I can't even really say uptrend yet because there's not enough evidence. But we're trying to see exactly where this is going to take off. But there was something about that consolidation. It felt right to me. So we'll see what happens here. But this isn't just all for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. This is to see how it plays out and if we can hold this consolidation. If it breaks through some of this, it's going to trigger a different style order. But right now, this seems to me like XDC's lagging behind quite a bit again. And it's starting to build into something that has a nice W reversal here building up. Bullish cross there as well. So we'll see if it can start breaking past this resistance up here. Came up for one touch almost at 419. But it looks like we're working our way back up. So see how bullish of a consolidation this really is here. But it definitely looks like it's trying to come back up here and retest these other areas. But if you're a fan of XDC, you understand it. I don't need to explain it to you. So we'll see how XDC plays out. It's up 1.41% today. But it definitely looks like it's got some meat on the bones here. It's most of it, though, if you look at these in the weekly, a lot of these, it's going to depend on a lot of what we're going to do. Not just with the independent asset, but the rest of the market. Right now in the weekly, it came down to the 200-day for the second week in a row. And obviously, we're at the candle close here on the weekly, leading into tomorrow. So that's another point of reference right there as well. We're on the backside of a potential massive breakout that we haven't completed yet. We did come up. We've had a huge consolidation. So it's a matter of what you believe in at this point. XRP, XLM, XDC, I believe, have a very bright future. This has corrected better than 40% since that breakout. And it had a massive breakout on this descending formation. But that's not even accurate because it keeps moving on me when I move my technicals. Or when I'm moving stuff. Sometimes I hit those. But that's how close it came to actually consolidating with that. So it did come pretty close. Pretty close. But yeah, so it's held the back test here as of right now. We haven't come through. So I think XDC's it's undervalued right now. It gets overlooked a lot. The fact that it's at 3.9 cents still is pretty amazing in 2024. We've got a massive inverse head and shoulders that really looks like it's getting ready to start pushing back up in a pretty big way here as well. So if you look at the wider pattern over here, and over here, if this plays out truthfully, I mean, you got something big piling up here. And the rest of the market, if this cooperates, this has been a long term, and you can see there's a big cup forming. Short-term cup and handle is in place, but it's got a very big cup in the making right now up into here. So if that plays out true, whoops, that's up to 10 cents. It's still a very good buy for XDC. Even if it comes down 50%, you can buy and layer into them. These are very good prices for XDC still. In today's market, it's pretty remarkable that XDC is still so undervalued. But yeah, we'll get into Bitcoin here as well and some of the reading. I want to get through this in a proper fashion because me and Julie got some stuff we got to do here in a little bit. So I was debating whether or not I was even going to come on live today, but I decided I still wanted to come on live, give some input, show what I'm thinking is going on, and then get some info from the audience as well. So if you are watching right now, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. It would be greatly appreciated as I'm getting shadow banned pretty hard here in the last couple days. As a lot of you have found out, you're not getting my notifications. So I need you to hit that like button if you are watching. Only less than half the people have hit that like button in this live so far. So if you could find it in your hearts and in your good grace, or if you respect my time and you have the ability, please hit that like button so YouTube recommends us. I think we have a lot to offer in this beautiful community. And it'd be a shame if a lot of people can't find it, honestly. I think it'd be a shame. So and if you hit that like button, YouTube recommends this live. And what that means is I'm part of the recommendations. And if you're looking through your YouTube when you pop it up in your app or on the website, I just end up, when you're scrolling through the news feed, I'm part of it. That it becomes part of your algorithm. So please do me a favor and do that. So with that being said, good evening. 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, April 20th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I do appreciate everybody. I see a lot of questions here. A lot of questions on a lot of different things. I don't know how much I'm going to get to this evening, I'll be honest. Because I got a lot of stuff to do here this evening. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sean, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Hope you're having a great evening. John Hall, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a blessed night. Appreciate you tuning in, my friend. I really do. Joshua, good evening. JW, welcome in, and thanks for tuning in and being part of Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Brave Sigma, welcome in. Josh, Pat, Marvin, welcome in. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hamza, welcome in. CJ2 Pilot, thanks for being in Tom's Army, along with Darren Plum for over 6 months with the XRP predictor. Peace to you as well, Darren. Peace to you as well. I appreciate that, my friend. Good to see you in here. Jorge, good evening. Taylor C, welcome. Could we get an update on Casper sometime? Yeah, I might be able to fit that in here this evening. I have it within my charts. Sully Mode, welcome in. Will Rob, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. So welcome in, everybody. As you see, less and less people have that interest for whatever reason in XRP during this time, which I find interesting. because XRP is at one of the most volatile parts that it can ever be at. Right now, this doesn't give a lot of confidence in the way it's going up, because it very clearly is going to need to come back down to support here in some short term. Yes, happy 420 to everybody as well. Yes, indeed. That's true. I forgot to say that. But XRP is going to have to come up here in some fashion. Or, I mean, come down in some fashion and retest this area. I believe we'll probably retest this before we come up to 54. Especially with how it's looking. Unless we get some kind of burst of energy here. It does seem like where we had this golden cross in the hourly now. You're going to see it as well in the 2 hourly getting close to coming up here and pushing. It's just we need this touch here, it looks like. So we have had the golden cross, then the push up to the 200-day resistance in the 2 hour time frame. It looks like we could be set up for a little bit of a pullback here as we lead into the close or right after the close. And then we should retest around the 518 level. It's possible. I'm watching this to see if this does, because it looks like a reversal candle, honestly. But that's in the 1 hour. Kind of looks like reversal here, though. And then it'll come back down here and retest this. So if you have a leverage trade out, be cautious if you've already made some good profit. Because even on a 10% trade, if this does come back down here, it's only 1.62%, but that's 16.2% in a leverage trade. So if you have a $1,000 trade open, that's a $160 drop. Just saying. But there's no guarantee it comes down. It's flashing early indicator that we could come down here and reconsolidate for XRP and retest this breakout point, which is this rising channel support now if it comes down, as it was acting as a big support for a long time. And we'll see if just outside the weekly, just like we were talking about before, if it was just a weekly drop outside of here, because the weekly candle doesn't close till tomorrow. And even last week, we did not close underneath that rising channel. So right now, just to make this easier to read, until we get rejected there, I'll put this back out. But just so it's easier to see, that's the rising channel resistance. That was a support area, but now we can act in the new layer. But just to make it easier to read, see how the weekly candles look? If we come back up here in this weekly and we stay above 515, I'd like to say 518 just to be sure. But if we're above 518, that's going to be 2 weekly candle closes still within that rising channel. And it was just wicks that broke down. So the wicks would be liquidity grabs. Good way to flush the liquidation out of long positions. And then a lot of people open up the shorts because if they're looking at the rising channel like I am in this regard, or how this pattern was set up and it looked like it broke out of it a couple times on a fake out, some people could open shorts there, but a lot of liquidation flipping hands. There was over $1 billion in totality of liquidations recently. So a lot of people have lost their money that were in XRP just because they were in the long or short, mostly longs. But now the shorts are getting wrecked on this last move. That 5% move just today, that's gotten rid of anybody 15x or over. 10x is in a lot of trouble here if you went short. So I think spot is king for a reason. I think it offers a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities. And for anybody who's feeling like, oh my God, XRP is very bearish, I don't care about this move, just remember, as long as you're in this handle support, you are well within your way. And right now we're within that handle support, so you should not feel nervous here. I wouldn't feel the least bit nervous here. This could be one huge fake out. That's a nice bullish candle on the daily. That's an engulfing candle on the top side. We're very clearly going to get a close over this. Our next step after is going to be to get back over, and we already know this area. This will be down a little bit after the candle close, but we know the area we're looking at of resistance because we showed it on the other chart. And I keep saying 54 to 54.4. This is the daily 20-day resistance. And then if you look at the pattern that I'm trying to reference, just in case you don't know, it's the breakout here. The technical target is up here at 54.07 cents. So that's a good way to look at this as we're rotating through this pattern, because the handle resistance right now is very important as well. And then if we were to continue moving up, and let's say We come up towards the handle resistance, and we start pushing this area up here. Not only is it relevant here at 60.2 cents, but if we look at, we had an expansion zone, and this was trying to tell us if we were able to break out. Once we broke down, it made it very dangerous. And this is where we needed to hold, down here at 39. Actually, it's about 38.8 cents at relative time when it was dropping. We more than clearly held that. We had a lot of room to spare. That's the uptrend going all the way back to when we hit all-time highs in January of 2018. This uptrend started in March of 2020, just over 10 cents, and it's been used ever since. So it's been a 78-month consolidation. Can't lose that. You lose that, it invalidates this pattern to the downside. You want to invalidate it to the upside, not to the downside. And then if it's breaking up here, this is that area at 60 cents. But more importantly, you're looking at the 64 cent area up here. But this is the short area. If you can get back up within here, then at least you're back within where that uptrend was, in the short term. And you could have gained some liquidity and yada, yada, yada. But overwhelmingly, we need to get past that downtrending resistance. The bottom line is we need to get past here. All these short patterns, honestly, if we look at this, don't mean shit. If we can't break that downtrending resistance, doesn't even matter. Ultimately, all the short-term stuff we're showing, you have to get over 70.2 cents. And once you get over that, the technical target, the short technical target, and that was the short pattern, as we already know. We know that from the other chart with the cup and handle, it's $1.20. But the total chart, the total technical target, if you break out of this multi-year, and I mean multi-year, this 78-month consolidation from all-time highs, the technical target's $1.97. So there's a lot of potential here if we can break out of this formation. A lot. So that's the truth about this. Yes, it does look bearish at times, but if you look at it in totality, there's a lot that could be coming to a head. And now look at this with the daily time frame when it comes to the relative strength index. Right now it's an overbought or close to it, but it's been doing it in a rising channel. This is a bearish or bullish reversal for price action, bearish reversal for what it's doing. This is good. This is very good what we're seeing. Everything's starting to point to the fact that we could have a significant reversal to the top side here. And I, for one, am ready for it. And that's why I said at 48 cents for everybody who was messaging saying that they were selling 50% of their bags in hopes for it to break down because the technical target was down there at 42 or 39 and some chains had it have broken down. We talked very clearly about it had already dropped 30%. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous to do that after a big drop. So hopefully everybody is, doing what they believe they should be doing and not listening to somebody else, and they have a plan in place, and then you can capitalize on it as we go. So, because it is not, there is no set way. It's not just, it's going to happen like this or like that. There's a lot that goes into this, believe me. So we're watching it as it plays out. I mean, it could take all the way until there. There's no doubt about it, because this pattern, if it doesn't break out for XRP, we already know the pattern's telling us. And it's been in this formation for 78 months. The apex moment is not until back in here. So the apex moment doesn't even happen until December of this year, if we're being honest. And that's if we attempt a breakout sometime at the end of the year. To the top side. But that's the truth, everybody. That's the truth. And I've been talking about this for a very long time. It's just now we're getting closer and closer as the days go on. So, but this has been like this for many years. Since 2018, downtrending resistance. And then it started the actual pattern in 2020 for the uptrend. So this has been in 78 months and counting. Once we got rejected up here at 75 cents, that told us that this pattern very well could play true for the rest of the year. That was what sucked about getting rejected there. But that doesn't mean we can't break out again here. It's just it had a huge level of consolidation. And if you look at the pattern as a whole, it really does speak volumes about what's really going on here if you're not just looking in the short time frame. There's a lot of reasons to be bullish. A lot of reasons. With Bitcoin, we're at 64,650, up 802 points or 1.25%. Bitcoin's not doing bad here. It's back within this bull flag setup. We want to have a close here. It's right around 64. I think I was saying 64,100. 64,200 just to be safe. Close over 64,200. We're well back within this, and we know we have a technical target on a breakup of 85,000. On a breakdown, it's 50,559 as it continues to move up the uptrending resistance. But we've talked very speculatively as well. If, like we said yesterday, if this pulls up, you very well could have some big W forming, and it could come up here. So we have to be very, very observant about this because that's a massive bull flag in the making. So I tried to make it very clear before it even had that drop what could be happening here. So this is what I really think. Oh, yeah. XDC's, but you know, if XDC underperforms and it breaks down some of these areas that I thought was a reversal, that doesn't mean, you know, you have to hold it. It's just, I've had it. It already came down some 30% almost from where I sold it, and I wanted to buy it back with some interest, let's just say. So, I bought it back with some interest. I had a very good first time around here, let's just say. Very good. Put me in a very nice position for these positions that I want to pull here. Let's just put it that way. Right now, it's barely done anything since I bought it back. Few percent. That's not a bad idea. You actually picked a very good time to do that with XRP and XRPH, CJ2 Pilot. You really did. And I thank you and Matt Holden for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. And also Devin. I seen Devin just snuck on in here as well. Thank you very much for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge and being a mod. But yeah, Casper, and we'll get more into Bitcoin, but Casper is not bad. I love Casper. Casper right now is on the outside of its formation. So we just got to make sure that we don't come back for a rejection right there. Because a rejection there could bring you all the way down here, and nobody's looking for that. I mean, maybe if someone add a significant amount. So we're looking, and it looks like a big reversal is about to happen here shortly. And it's in the midst of it, but if you look at the RSI even, it's starting to break into a bullish territory if it pushes down here. So, looks like we're going to at least finish off this back test at 3.5. At any event, you know, at any event, I should say. I mean, there's still some meat on the bones big time. 10, 12% there. I love Casper, though. And I think at some point here, Casper's going to play up to 7.6. It's just, it had to break up out of this to get there now. Otherwise, it could take a little more time. But we definitely need to break back up and invalidate this drop. We need to do what XRP did. Get back into the structure, break to the top side, and invalidate that initial drop. So we very well could do that. Like I said, we're still within this weekly candle, very much so for Casper. So we got a chance here still. We'll see what happens. Just it started engulfing a little bit in the weekly, but now it's starting to pull itself back up. So we'll see with Casper, but there was still a lot of room here to backtest up to 3.5 area. So I do like Casper. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. DGB's up 6%. A lot of these are back testing their drop points right now. So that's why you got to be a little careful. Well, we always have to be careful. But let's see if DGB can get back over this. What is this actual number? 1338. It's over it a little bit here right now. So about 134. So as long as we're watching, we want to make sure we stay over that. And then we won't have to have a bigger drop. Because a lot of these look like they could have built topping patterns. But even with DGB, if it did, the good news about this is left shoulder, head, right shoulder, maybe it still comes back up to 1.8, 2 cents maybe. Even if that's bearish, it looks like it would still want to make like a triple peak here. So just projecting here that even if some of these are bearish, it looks like there could be some bullish momentum here. right? So let's just see if that kind of stuff plays out. You're kind of seeing this across the board. Makes me a little optimistic here. XLM at 11.5. Just like XRP, it broke back before that short-term barrier. Basically, like XRP, exhausted the targeted move anyhow, initially. So it's not like we didn't come down far. We had massive corrections here. Then we bounced up. Now we're trying to bounce out. So now with XLM, you're looking at this trying to hold the 11.3 roughly, maybe a little bit lower, but it's back within this squeeze zone. That was the expansion zone. You know, that's where we were trying to create this formation and push up and out. So we'll see. We come back within here now. We're not technically getting a short-term rejection just yet. Just yet. You're welcome, Taylor. And I know this is, today it's a lot of condensed information because we're really caught up here we're within a structural, we're finally at that point, let's just say. We're at that point where something's going to have to happen. And right now, fortunately, it's gone the route that we were hoping for XRP in particular, that we were start to push that 54 and some cent, or 54 cent and some change area, instead of breaking down to 42 right away. Because at least now we have some kind of bullish momentum. We can at least get a little bit of positivity, you know, and it's not as gloomy right now. So at least on the weekend here, we're having a little bit of I called it a relief rally before it happened. A 10% relief rally, you know, and it's come up some now, obviously, but we'll see how this continues to play out. I do want to do a little bit of reading before I leave as well. It's already been 31 minutes. Wow. I do appreciate everybody who's tuning in as well. So when we were talking about the $1.20, and if you're looking to trade XRP in the USA or in the worldwide, and you don't want to use a VPN, look at the video description below and our pinned comments with BITUNIX. They have very low spot and leverage trading fees. You don't have to do a KYC unless you want to deposit or withdraw from your own bank account, but from another exchange, it's not necessary. And they're up during high times of volatility. So take a look at that while you're watching. And if you want to show me personal support, don't hesitate to send one YouTube super chat per month or consider joining Comms Army. It's been a very slow month this month, but we've still been kicking here. Crypto at some point is going to pick up, and it's not going to be so slow, I promise. Well, I'm telling you, it's gonna make people's heads spin around and probably fly off at some point here. XRP price ready to break out. Analysts predict surge over $1.20. And I wanted to do this again so we were seeing at $1.20 if we have the breakout of the cup and handle, and see what another analyst seems to think as well. So cryptocurrencies, like roller coasters, ride the waves of uncertainty, and XRP is no exception. Despite a modest uptick over the past day, its weekly, fortnightly, and monthly charts still show downturns, highlighting the relentless volatility gripping the market. Yet amidst this turmoil, traders hope to find an optimistic forecast from a respected crypto analyst. Even as legal issues linger and lawsuits loom, XRP remains above the 50-cent mark, with talks of a potential surge to 55 cents, but wait, there's more. So we already know this guy. He says XRP fake out or no fake out. Seems like a potential fake out with the next destination likely between 120 and 150. XRP Army stays steady. XRP is the real deal and the only digital asset with clear legal and regulatory clarity. Well, once the case is, it'll be true. But you can't count the chickens before the eggs hatch because we don't have the full clarity just yet. But it's on par to be the first one. But that 120 is intriguing because that's the cup and handle breakout. On a bullish breakout, that resistance or that actual technical target's at $1.20. So brace yourself for a journey, one that could propel XRP to 90 cents and even $1. eGreg Crypto has highlighted significant potential for XRP's price to surge beyond the $1.20 mark. Their forecast is grounded in analysis of historical patterns and Fibonacci levels, suggesting that XRP's current positioning mirrors previous market movements, between particularly those observed in 2017 and 2021. Drawing parallels with these past trends, the analyst anticipates quick and powerful price pumps for XRP shortly, with potential price targets identified at the Fibonacci levels such as $1.27, $1.41, $1.61. XRP dominance, explosive action, and this is what he's talking about. But in this regard, if we look at his Fibonacci's and such, so that's where you're looking at those levels. Lines up pretty nicely in some senses as well. But on a breakout or a breakdown and then a consolidation, so we can see what's going on. So I always like to look at others who at least put the time in. And then this is the retest or the back test that he's talking about. So see what happens here. So the echoes of this bullish prophecy ripple through the crypto community, sparking lively debate and fervent speculation. Traders eagerly await the potential for an imminent rally. And see, this sounds like AI is writing this. No offense. This sounds like AI is writing this. Am I wrong? ChatGPT for free wrote this. XRP fortunes. Interestingly, the rumblings extend beyond words, seeping into the realm of futures and options. Post-Bitcoin halving, XRP futures and options open interest are on the rise, painting a hopeful picture. So XRP is the 7th largest cryptocurrency with a market cap of around $27.78 billion. Its trading volume jumped by 22.72% to over $2 billion, showing growing interest from investors, currently trading at about 51.43 cents. XRP's price fluctuates, with traders keeping an eye on any news that could affect its value. With optimism rising, many in the crypto community hope XRP will surpass $1.20 soon. So that's true. Many are hoping that. So, but right now we're at 52.66 cents here. We have the daily close in 1 hour and 4 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to talk about. So, if there's any comments, anybody's got anything to say? And then, you know, that there's not much to talk about here other than that. Not much to talk about other than that. We've gotten a nice little rally here, nice little relief rally. Oh, the WAXP. WAXP had a nice consolidation. It's on a little bit of a move today of about 7.1%. It's up 7.1%. It came all the way down to support. Perfectly, actually. It still hasn't given this pattern up. If it gives the pattern up, it'd be interesting. But right now, it's maintained within it. So, came down and retested support very nicely. That's better. Very nicely, though, it retested it. So, we'll see now, though. We have an engulfing candle to the top side here in today's candle, where we need to stay above 7 cents. And then we very well could start pushing up. Remember, it came all the way down from around 12.3 cents. So even where it's at right now, it finished off that head and shoulders pattern. Even in today's terms, it's still down about 43%. It came down as much as 53%. And it does look like we're in a bit of a rising channel here with the RSI. So if it does break back down, it's going to be a nice bullish move. And to push back up to the top side, if you're buying it off of the support within a pattern, even from where it's at right now, you've still got about, that's 45% still on there for retest that 10-1 area. So not looking bad. Not looking bad at all, honestly. Good question, though, with WAXP. Oh, while I'm here, XRP Healthcare, speaking of which, bit of a correction today, so good day to talk about it at 5.94%. I like talking about it every day. But 5.94 cents. That could be a tricky disguise candle here that looked bearish, but it stayed within the formation here. We're still within an attempted breakout through the side of this channel. It's more of a falling channel, but the problem is we broke back down below and we're using it as kind of a resistance here. So if we were to break down out of this, we know we could break down much farther. I'm going to take this out of here because that's irrelevant. This is what's relevant to me. So we'll see if this were to break up more, but one could argue that you could look at it more of an uptrend, but I like looking at it like this because it has not proven to break up or down at all. This almost looks like a pennant play, a consolidation. And what's very interesting about this is if you actually look at this, you can clearly see some kind of, and if this if this does this, and it does manage to bounce out, you can see how if you just look at it closely, how it was building and out. This could be in the midst of a very big consolidatory breakout, at least for another retest back in this range. Like after such a big back test, it almost feels like even if it's bearish, you'd want to come up and make another area. At least, you know, maybe even that. We've seen that a lot. So, but we're looking at this right now. This is a very nice area right now. I don't know what everybody's plans is with this, because even if you look at it like this, we're trying to break out again. We're just at the very cusp of it right now. Very, very cusp. Oh, you're welcome, JW. You have a blessed evening as well, my friend. Actually, it is 4:20, so I think I'm going to do something before I leave. I'll be right back. Everybody may want to stick around. Well, of course, it's gonna depend on me finding my coat. Oh, there it is. Julie? Do you want to come in the living room while I relax on stream, or are you okay? I have the one that we got. I think so. I think it is, Julie. It's 4:20. It would not be right if we did not have relaxation. My mom said he's doing fine and he's eating.
Yay! Progress. Progress.
His ham was out of order. It was not in stock. Sorry everybody. My mom texted me.
We dropped off her son for the first time in 4 years.
Yep.
Big day. Big day. A lot of people are saying Tanya.
Huh?
A lot of people said Tanya. Hello, Tanya.
Oh, Tanya's in. Good, good, good. Welcome in, Tanya. And everybody, for XRP Healthcare, does that not look like a massive inverted hammer candle? At one of the farthest pullbacks you will ever see. Yeah, Tanya, welcome in, love. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And how many people said, wow, 109 of you still stuck around. I feel honored. I feel honored. And please hit that like button if you are watching. I'm surprised so many people continue to tune in when, you know, it's been kind of 19 months now. Wow, Tanya, that is awesome. That is awesome. So I'm going to like this for 420. While we're together on 420, it'd be wrong not to have some kind of relaxation while we're together. But what does everybody think about XP Healthcare? Do you think it's getting ready for another move? A big move would be this one. This would be a big move. Oh, you're good, Drew. Everybody's busy, too. I know how that goes. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to do 8, but I just wanted to ask everybody that question. We'll go back to XRP Healthcare. But Tanya's in the house. Julie, your Doge is up. The Doge coin's up 3.27% back to 16.1 cents. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's what you should do. Let it sit. H-bar's up 6.97% back up to 8.6 cents. Huh? Yeah.
That's not bad.
We got this mid-tier resistance. It's a big pivot level up here. 8.8 cents. You get back above this, there's nothing really in between. We've already filled out the technical target. So we filled out the technical retracement, And what makes this very dangerous now is we back tested the old pattern breakout. So if this gets past here and we can break back up, this has dropped the entire way and the technical target was beautifully filled. So H bar's done a beautiful consolidation. Now if we can get back over the 8.8 cent mark, we should be able to retest this 10.2 cent drop area. So and obviously it's not going up that way. That was invalidated. It went to the downside. So I don't even need to look at that. But that was the difference, and it went to the downside. You had that high target or down target. And the down target also made sense because you can see it retested a huge pattern breakout. So right now it's looking good. Looking good. If we look at it from a daily perspective, where it's at right now looks excellent. That'd be a huge engulfing out of this. Well, this would be just a very bullish candle. And it's got a lot of room to run here. If it takes that 8.8, it's got a lot of room to run here. It's got about a 17 to 20% move. What is it? It's over 14. Let's just say we're over 8.8. Low end is 15.5%. So it's got 15.5% at minimum if it gets over that pivot point. Now, obviously, don't get too excited because you got the daily time frame here and you got the 20-day resistance. So you still got to get over that at 4.97%. Yeah, where's it at? Is it? I'll just use this. Really. It could be on the other table by my monitor. So yeah, but H bar's looking pretty good here. It's looking pretty good. Just look for 8.8. Once 8.8 falls, it's looking real good. If it's over 8.4 at the close here in 54 minutes, it's looking really solid going into the next day. On the weekly candle close, it's pulled back a lot here on the weekly. The low on the weekly candle was down at 7.5. Yeah, that would be a beautiful close here if it could keep pushing up. If you could have a weekly candle close come up here over 8.8, you'd be looking a lot better because that would look like a bottoming formation in the weekly possibly. That 8.8's a big mark. That's a big mark because we broke down out of that consolidation and you don't want to. And like I said, like on the other ones, even if this looks bullish on the next push, remember this scenario. We've seen this in a lot of them. If it just comes up here and does this, all it's doing is creating that third peak. We've seen it with DGB. We've seen it in a lot of the others. So could that not just be creating left shoulder, head, right shoulder? Even if bullish, it's still got a nice move. And then you can also see an M, kind of. That's like the three peaks of hell. If that plays out like that. You don't want that. So let's just be optimistic on this push. But yeah, it's going to be a big deal tomorrow. You need a little bit more volume to the top side here, and it'd be very nice. You're definitely starting to reverse up at the end of this candle, which is good to see the lows already in, but it's not out of the woods yet. You still need to come up. We still need to come up. I'd like to see it come up more. But the good news is at least it filled out, at least for H-bar. Not all of them have done this, but for H-bar, it already filled out the technical drop. Jordan, welcome in along with Mark Caston. Thank you both for tuning in me and Tom's Army for over 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, or 1 month. But yeah, I mean, we're basically at the mercy of what comes next here. We went through over a lot of charts. Man, I'm working very hard for free today. I got so many people asking for charts today. A lot of charts. Well, I'm just saying a lot of people aren't in Tom's Army or anything. A lot of special requests. I went through like 7 or 8 different charts. I don't have ADA up here right now, so I don't know. I might go through ADA, but I would have to pull it back up.
People could be out doing fun things.
ADA had broken out of this formation. Let's see, ADA. I remember when we put this down, so not a bad time to look at it. We were in this descending formation, descending triangle. Let's see how close it came to that move. I'm just curious. I'm sure I know it filled this out, but I want to know where this was at when it broke out. So right here. So that was the technical move at 58.3. That was our pivot level that it came back below. So that was our technical zone. Man, that had a pretty incredible push out of here, though. Wow. It's dicey. We have a golden cross here that happened in the weekly time frame, and the 20 cross and the 200. But right when the 50 was about to confirm it through the 200, we had this big drop off the last couple weeks. We haven't invalidated the move yet, but we had a healthy consolidation here. Healthy. And again, this is another one. This is almost scary to start seeing this. Because what if these do have a very strong pullback? I mean, a bounce back, like relief rally? And what if they do come back up and they create like this third arm? Like, I see this all across the board. What the hell is going on here? If they do something like this. Does anybody else see this in all of these? Let's just sit. So basically with ADA, we'd want to be very cautious if it got a rejection at 68.1 cents. Because I'm seeing this across the board. This isn't just with ADA. I'm starting to see this across the board. CJ2 Pilot, thank you for the $4.99 donation. He says, no one works for free on Saturdays, damn it. I appreciate that generosity. I do. Free toast. He's the one I'm doing the ADA because I like free toast. Me too, and I like free toast because he's been in the audience. So I try to look after the ones who I know have been around for a long time.
Might be a scary toast. Scary toast is a
but yeah, it could be a fake out. It could, but we're looking at make sure something like that wouldn't happen. But at the same time, these are some healthy bounces. If that's what it has in store for everybody, let's break it back down out of the weekly into the daily. Because we can see the daily showing signs of a big move here across the market. All of these have engulfing candles. All of them look like they're pushing back down towards very bullish in the RSI. And even if we got a rejection way up there, that's 37%. Man, if I didn't know any better, it almost feels like something huge is building. Even if it's for a massive rejection, it looks like we're about to have a big relief rally. And this is just the beginning. If it plays out like that, I'm just being honest. It looks like there'll be a big relief rally building up. So while I have some time with all of you, because Julie's impatient, not so, she's being good. I love you too. She ran away with impatience. I love you too. But what do you all think? Do you think that there's some kind of massive relief rally in the making that's already started? As we were looking for that short-term 10% relief rally that's in the midst right now, almost up to 54 cents with XRP and some change. But it does seem to be telling us across the market something bigger could be at play here. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, even XRP, look at that in the daily time frame, how beautiful that looks after that consolidation down. This is breaking back into a very bullish, promising move. Very bullish candle here on the engulfing candle in the daily as well. That's a very bullish candle. There was no downside pressure. What was I seeing? I think the same thing. Same thing. Everything looks like it's got this. And if we look at XDC, and I like this, because it pulled down. Now look at the next couple that are in the same predicament. Is this more of a hold candle coming for the rest of the market? Or is this telling us something? Like, I want to know. Because this looks like they're starting to drop into a bullish territory now. And it's like we're just waiting for that explosive move. I'm very curious to see what the market has in store for us in this next 24 to 48 hours. This is going to be a very big make it or break it time period. Oh, I don't disagree with that. Free Toast saying that the altcoins could boom without Bitcoin, but Bitcoin could also do it with them. We didn't have as big of an engulfing candle here, but that looks pretty bullish back into the pattern formation, and it looks like a W reversal just to the naked eye is trying to form here. So there's some reasons to be very optimistic here that we could have a short-term rally here. A rather large one. Because what it could be speaking to with some of the altcoins we're seeing is Bitcoin could be on its way to maybe 85 at best case scenario. But also that even on a bad retest, we could come up to 71,300 area. So think about that. If this is back in the formation, and even at worst, we come up to 71,300, that's about 11.7% on Bitcoin. That's a lot of room for the rest of the market. The XRP Bitcoin pairing's up 3.43% today. And we knew we were looking at some kind of reversal trending here. It's just we were unable to validate it yet. And we had to drop down. But now it looks like we're trying to backtest here into the shorter areas. But if we take this away for the mid-tier, look how this is broken back into here all of a sudden. If we're just opening it up. And now if we're just over this 800, this is still calling for a move back up towards 874, maybe even farther. At some point, we're going to break out of this. And this looks like this was just a liquidity wick down to the bottom. Still looks like ones holding XRP and the Bitcoin pairing are looking, with this buyback, they're looking more for a push up than a pull down. That's a nice candle here in the daily. That's an inverted hammer and an engulfing one at that as well, which is quite interesting, as I may say myself. So, but that's what I got, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in. I do. I got stuff to do here with Julie tonight, and I know she's being patient. She's been a trooper. She knew I wanted to come on for an hour because I wanted to grace the audience with what we needed to know, and myself as well. As we see with the Bitcoin dominance chart, just another one we use technical analysis. The technical breakout target was 57.01%. It hit it absolutely on the nuts, let's just say. Hit it absolutely perfect, or on the Groteskies, excuse me. But hit it perfectly. So now if we're starting to retrace in the Bitcoin dominance, we want to see a rejection at 55.5 because that's a huge pivot point. And then if we can start coming back down, maybe it starts pushing into the alt season. But right now there's too much money in Bitcoin. 55% of all money flowing into in the crypto market is in Bitcoin. It's too much. Historically, when cryptocurrencies have massive breakouts, the money, when you look at this, look at 21. It's down near 39-40%. And better yet, back in the good old days when altcoins had the biggest explosion they ever seen, only 35% of the money was in Bitcoin. But I mean, I'm not here to say that Bitcoin is looking not so hot to altcoins. But I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist here. But is there not a possible gigantic bear flag that would knock it basically out of existence when it comes to market cap share? Not saying it's going to go away as a whole, but the market share seems to be shrinking. It seems like this is just a bearish consolidation, and we'll never see the 70, 80, 90% market cap share ever again. So I am very optimistic. So if you made it until the end, please make sure to hit hashtag #BeBetterDoBetter in the comments. I'm happy we're able to have such an active discussion. I'm happy that so many people decided to tune into this live, even on a Saturday. I really am. So thank you, CJ2 Pilot, Jordan, Tanya, all of you for being here until the end. I appreciate it. Have a blessed evening, all of you. Kyle, thank you so much. Kyle Rhythermore. I thought alts ride off of Bitcoin. They do. But if you want to have a real alt season, you can't have the market share. See, what some people don't understand, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying the false misinterpretation of what I said here, is if Bitcoin's market share goes down, let's say it goes to 35% of all money's in, that doesn't mean maybe Bitcoin went up 5%, But altcoins went up 15, 20, 30% on relativity, and in time it closed the gap. See, Bitcoin could still go to 100,000 and lose market share relative to the rest of the market. It's just altcoins would have to go up much faster. So you're looking for it to tug less of the market so there's more money to go around. You know what I mean? So, but oftentimes Bitcoin front runs a lot of the altcoins because it's a lot of the institutions or a lot of the ones with a lot of money, they like to control it through Bitcoin first, and then they start to put off their profits into all the altcoin projects. No different than gold and silver. How a lot of people try to make the initial money in the actual physical bullion or buying the gold ETF, and then they'll put it into commodities after the move. It's no different. So, but it's going to be interesting. But have a blessed evening, everybody. I'm going to go hang out with Julie. Have a good Saturday. Hope everybody considers the positivity over negativity, and don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because the power of love over hate transcends us in a way that most just I don't